Blessings and welcome forward to Reasonings right here at Cheer Life. I'm your host, Jerome Sage Butler. Please like, share, and subscribe right here at Cheer Life Television Network on YouTube. Follow me, Jerome Sage Butler, on Facebook and Jerome Sage Butler on Instagram. You can inbox me, send me a message, or give me a call or email me. Blessings and honor, and it is a pleasure indeed to be able to be here sharing a word with you, a thought, or even just an expression, something that really can cause some kind of chain reaction in the spirit. And I truly want to give thanks to the people who are very supportive, who have been very connective and very willing, to understand, to connect, and see past the faults of humans, as we are all humans, right? Not that we're excusing human faults, but that we understand that there is a growth and that there's a development towards something better. And that's the whole essence of, spirituality and the true essence in religion. So that the human soul can be truly availed and be at peace within the creation of Yah. My current offerings today will be on money matters. Now, spiritual money matters is of high significance, and I think we started a few programs about money, and I was thinking that maybe I needed to do a few more programs about money. And so here it is that we are now at this point where I feel like spiritual money matters is worthy topic, and it's a time for that kind of offering, especially as one can understand the way in which the earth is going currently and how material finances have become so important. So we are going to examine it in a positive dichotomy, not in a judgmental sense or a sense of saying, well, money is this or money is that. So we're going to look at the substance of money, how it is that you can have spiritual money be able to circulate and prove itself to be currency, storage of value. How much of a storage of value is it in terms of the present and long term? And just look at how you can really be at peace when it comes to thoughts, conversations, and experiences involving money, both on the sense of making money, surviving the loss of financial investments, and so forth. So we're gonna put it together, not necessarily in that order, but we're gonna put it together in some order so that there can be a concordance in the presentation of the information. So let's begin. First of all, money. In the modern world, money has come to be this very, very important tool, a mechanism within the functionality of human societies, the designs of human societies. Certainly, how it is that we go from work, school, to home, and to our party, to the mall. Money is more than consumerism. It's more than materialism. It's a whole spectrum functionality as relating to the spiritual world, almost like a lifeblood as it would relate to the human body. In the material world, it is of utmost importance. Now, most people approach money from the design structures of need, want, and incredible, intense, lustful desires. Some will be on the negative side of greed, and some will be on the positive side as being very ambitious or very, determined and, self-motivated towards some kind of a, material, prosperous end result. So money is the means by which value is measured in this material society, in this material world. Deeply so, especially as material existence grow in earnest. Our children are being educated in earnest to supply, physical and mental and emotional strength and energy, body and function, soul and heart to the material instrument, the material engine. That is the outlook of a child going to school. That is the outlook of a young adult in college. And that is the outlook of the adventurous, ambitious, hard-working adult in the structure. Now, are there still people who are concerned with money just as a means to survive? Where they might come along the lines of the spiritual, or just those who are free-spirited and just open-minded individuals. So let's approach money in a manner that is congruent with the highest ideals. Let's begin. I must start with one of my first teachers that taught me about money. One day, he offered me some money because when he started educating me on the spiritual path, I said to him, what I've come to understand about spirituality is that when you put material things incredibly in your purview and let it be so intensely the argument, what then begins to happen is that your whole life and the spiritual life begins to become confused, out of sorts, and misaligned. Right? He looked at me and he said, you're gonna live a generation of suffering and sorrow. I said, sir, what are you talking about? I said, I read in all these spiritual books that money is the root of all evil and this and so forth and all these manner of arguments. He says, really? Those minds are trying to construct a viewpoint. And that viewpoint is toxic. So when he gave me the money, I folded the money, maybe in four, and I made a little square and put it in my pocket, and he yelled at me. He says, what are you doing? I said, I'm just putting the money in my pocket. You just gave it to me. I don't want it to get lost. He says, not like that, you're not. I said, sir, what are you talking about? He said, what do you mean, what am I talking about? What was I talking to you about before? I said, you were telling me about, money and how important it is as a spiritual path, as a spiritual fulfillment, and I don't believe it's so. He says, well, obviously, because what you just did prove to me. I said, all I did was take the money and fold it and put it in my pocket. He says, money is a flow. It's an energy. It's a substance. I said, really? He says, yes. He says, why is it called currency? I said, I don't know, because there's supposed to be many different versions of it. Depends on your society, so it's called currency. That was my understanding. He says, absolutely not. It is currency because it's electric, it's vibrational. It is traveling at a certain rate and frequency. And when you fold the money like that and put it in your pocket like that, all you're doing is blocking your opportunities, blocking your well-being. You are blocking the flow, the energy of the money. So I said, out of a folding? He says, yes, let's examine the folding. I said, what is this? But this is my teacher, so I held my peace. He said, let's examine the folding. I said, well, I folded in four. He said, four. So they actually pulled it out. It was probably more than four. And he began to dissect each tier. I said to myself, you're thinking like me, like, what is this? This guy for real? He says, each tier represents an anxiety. An anxiety, a fear, block desire, lack of confidence, and a whole lot of other things. And the more you squarely wrap it up, is the more tied up and confused and unproductive your whole aura will become. So he opened it out back as he gave it to me, and he folded it. Pulled it back out, gave it to me. I couldn't put it into my pocket like that, so I just made a little halving of it, but I didn't crease it. I just made a halving of it, and I put it in my pocket. This time I put it in my front pocket instead of my back pocket to say I'm sitting on it. First lesson, money is substance. But how is that substance activated? Obviously through the human consciousness. Money carries an etheric and a vibrational field. Not just because of the symbols that are on the money, that are for the ends and the designs of who created the money and who controls the money structure. But that's for another program. That's not what we hear about. We hear about the human experience of the flow of currency and how it is that truly you can see the substance of money and have the control of spiritual money matters. When the money is traveling from hand to hand, we scarcely regard it as anything important. It is most important. My mother used to say, never touch money and take up something to eat. It is filthy and dirty. And I was saying to myself, interesting, this is money. But I did not consider the movement from hand to hand. And she could see a physical uncleanness about it. But now we're going to examine the spiritual uncleanness about it. Now each hand that holds that money with anxiety, with fears, with confusion, with depression, and all manner of psychic and mental maladies imparts a little bit of their phobias on the money, a little bit of their fears on the money. And the more it passes from hands to hand, the more that energy magnifies, intensifies. Who does that negative aura affect and afflict most? I tell you, people like myself, in the previous mindset that was squarely folding up the money, wrapping it up with all my pain and all my worries, and sticking it away, hiding it away, all manner of trepidations wrapped up in that. I was attracting to me all of that bad energy force. All of the people who looked at the cash register, who look at the cost on that receipt and did not want to pay, who were strongly, intensely holding on to that buck, holding on to that bill, not wanting to let it go, not wanting to lose that value that they're so attached to. Anxiety, deep depression, setting in when one has lost their job, when one has lost the means by which they were materially subsisting and taking care of their needs. It affects the human psyche when you cannot pay your bills, when you cannot be independent and like the other person order that drink, may it be non-alcoholic, may it be completely vegan, whatever it is. When you are not independent to order that drink when you want, how you want it, you begin to feel in your psyche a lack of self-worth. The longer it goes on, the worse you feel. The more fear sets in, the more the lack of self-worth begins to take shape within your psyche. And when you get that little break, that little windfall, oh my God, whether it be a payback from the taxes, a helpful friend, a very generous family member, or just a contract in a moment, you hold on, you cleave, oh my God, you penny pinch every last dime. Oh, that anxiety transferring, transmuting into that money, carrying forward in those etheric fields to other individuals who likewise covet, hold on intensely, not wanting to let go of the attachment to the value of how the money makes them feel. So each time you are so intensely clinging, holding on, attached to the money frequency, that negative etheric field, you put yourself in a bad alignment with the awesome flow of the material currency. Let's continue on spiritual money matters, addressing spiritual money matters right here, True Life Television Networks. Brothers and sisters, there's a systematic design around our lives. That systemization came out of our mental faculties, albeit the mental faculties of a few individuals, and has been reinforced by the perpetuity of groupings of small individuals. Material value, the worth of your dollar, is decided by these money organs, organizations, these chief executives in these agencies, federal or otherwise. Money is controlled by human mechanics, human mechanisms. So when a society is squarely designed on such a premise, individuals follow the emperor's example. So when the emperor puts on his new clothes called austerity, likewise people strip down. And when the emperor puts on his other suit of new clothes called opulence, luxury, lifestyle is the onset of the servant, the worker class, ambition driven towards material likes and pursuits. Now when sorrow, affliction, confusion, desperation fills the material touch, the physical touch, and transmute into your spirit, money becomes a heavy burden. People are praying prayers, hundreds of prayers, thousands, yea, millions, hundreds of millions of prayers. Bones are being thrown, fragments of bones, stones are being thrown, wells are being dug, earth is being dug up, icons are being drawn on the wall, images are being prostrated around, human fires are being lit, things are being poured in, scriptures are being read, many things are being read to evoke the sense, the aura, the energy of prosperity and money. And all that's happening is that the spirit of money, the guardian spirit of money, Mammon, with the material mindset and control stirs the pot. We're all flip-flopping When you have the buck, it speaks deeply. When you don't have it, you sunk down. So how do we keep that flow of money, the material value, likened unto that chemical worker, likened unto the toxic spill agent, cleaning up the filth of our toxic existence? We're going to put on the shield of spirituality and spiritual money matters. Mentality governs the use of money. Mentality governs the application, chakra, of money. Mentality. First of all, it is not the substance of your life, neither is it the substance and the container of existence. Yea, it is functionality, construction of human thought. Human, which you are, I am, we all are. The wavelength and the frequency is that money satisfies only what money satisfies. Let's get into it in earnest. The mentality, the functionality of thought. Do not covet, do not cleave, do not cling to money, the desires, the conversations, the arguments, the reasoning, the financial status and statements specifically designed to fuel, to drive the lust of money. One must be harmonious and complete in one's spiritual viewpoint, wherein no money fulfills and satisfies just a portion of the functionality. Money is good servant, bad master. Put money to good servant by the controlling thoughts in your mind. You are who designs the way in which the substance of money manifests in your life. First issue, if you believe even just a little bit that the ways in which money are fulfilled are external, yea, you have caused yourself the first conflict of your fulfillment in spiritual money matters. When money matters and the alignments thereof come from the market pundits, you must understand one thing. They are in the process, in the business of making more money, and hence their argument to you is to placate their money sciences. It seems like what I'm saying is conflicting with what you think is good reasoning. You're saying they're there to tell you about the markets and how valuable your dollars and your currencies are the goods and services in your market. What is Jerome talking about? What is he coming with? Those pundits are using you to expand their monetary material designs. Have you ever explored your own material monetary design? Do I mean design your own currency? No. Design the functionality of material currency in your, or currencies in your experience. Decide for yourself how it is that money will fulfill the role of ambition you have in it. You have in yourself, and we all have in us. The Most High is saying to me, speak to the essence of people who start out saying, okay, let's check that. It begins by saying this way. There are people who, when they listen to the material information coming from the statisticians and the financial analysts, then they go now to the financial institution to seek whether credit financing or some form of equity financing. The Lord is saying, present an example to us. So this is the example. That is a structure designed based upon monetary policies, ideologies already reconstructed by others, and is being maintained by others. Hedge funds and such. All these money market instruments are pre-designed structures that are designed to make those people wealthy. And each one that comes along, like a pyramid scheme, is only continuing the wealth of those who designed that original structure. Are we on point? So there are some that says, okay, I can join it, and what trickles down to me will still be of enough wealth that I can feel satisfied. That is all well and good, but one can examine the damages that will be caused by those who are up above you, flowing through you to those beneath you, who cannot say by the structured maintenance of a suppression of their money power, we and those who think like that are being suppressed constantly by this attraction of money power, of money energy. So even if you are fair, honest, if we maintain that structure of how it is being designed to us, we suppress our own abilities and we suppress the abilities of others. Make sure when you have a belief that money is a spiritual substance, you find a way to manifest that substance that is sacrosanct, that is wholesome with the spiritual flow, that does not disturb, that does not cause harm, like those who design these instruments. And they tell us nicely, when we are in the middle, they say to us, listen, there's a way I can take your ideas, because people like myself, we have a lot of ideas. They say, we can take your ideas and we can make it more malleable, pliable, that it can go to a mass audience. And all we have to do is make it possible that it can come on our platforms, and we can use that platform easily because we have the markets. What we want from you is to sign over certain rights, and we pay you this. But essentially what we're saying to you is that 3 days ago, you were worth maybe 20,000 of your Jamaican dollars, or 100,000 of your Jamaican dollars. An hour from now, a week from now, you will be worth 1 million of our first world dollars. A year from now, you will be worth 20 million of our first world dollars. Just sign on that line, and we take it from here. So many individuals like myself and others like us, you know what we do? So stupidly, we say, okay, this sounds like a great idea. My product will get to a mass audience. But here's the trick in it. You had some ideas. You had some merit in what you were about. You had some structural concerns, some design concerns. But when you sign that over, when you sign on that dotted line, not only have you given over those designs, here's what you have given over. And I want to be specific and clear so you understand. You have given the power of your creation, your creative spirit, to that being, to that entity. You ever wonder why some individuals, or a lot of individuals who have made such deals, never ever got another idea of equal merit to ever create such another idea? You ever wonder why they're living in such fear? Because you made 40 million 15 years ago? And guess what's happening? You and I know, many don't know. 40 million 15 years ago is not 40 million today. And even by some so-called savvy investment, you still have that 40 million. Let's say it's still 40 million, right? You didn't lose the 40. You just somehow through all your expenses kept your 40 million. But right now, the quality of lifestyle that started you out feeling very wealthy and accomplished 10 years ago, 15 years ago, however, when you got that 40 million, that 40 million can't buy that. That quality lifestyle has moved on to 120 million now. So actually, you are down to lower middle class. And here the thing too, quite a large portion of your money still has to go to maintain your floating or so-called somewhat stable assets within the economy, within your society. And even if you have offshore assets, all of that is contained in the fluctuations of the market. Because where you are, your money is working harder and earning you less. And let's just say inflation, hyperinflation, are a shift in market perception. In 5 or 10 years, all that was maintaining that little nest egg so you could have at least kept your face and drove a decent car begins to get eroded. And all the promises and all the deals that you are making is trying to hold on to what has already gone. But let's forward track to those who own the spirit of your creativity and your idea. They have created 15 versions, 20 versions. Can you imagine? Let me slow down. They have created 30 versions. Individuals who did not have the idea in the first place. You're worth, like I say, you're still worth the 40 million, but that 40 million isn't 40 million in value as it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. In $120 million value space, you probably lost 40%, 50% of that 40 million. How much are they worth? They're probably worth 3 billion and counting. That could have been you, me, or any of us. Let me get back on track. Am I scaring you? That is us. The power of money is mental. If you believe you need equity, if you believe you need capital based upon credit financial institutions, you're going to have to play by that rule, act within that concordance, please that puppet master, fill that puppet master's coffers of your hard-earned, hard-suffering, creative, spiritual idea towards business, towards material independence and fulfillment. Guard your thoughts with great valor, but yet be malleable enough to attract and project, construct the circumstances, the situations of your material fulfillment. Watch your creative idea move from spirit energy into material manifestation. Watch through the tedious nights, hard, long, sleepless nights to fulfillment. Watch as your soul resonates with complete aura of quality and qualitative application towards completion. When in your 20th year of application to your lifelong ambition, you are materially fulfilled. When the companies, the products, the services you have designed have fulfilled their ambition, they have fulfilled your ambition, your worth, their purpose, your intent. All the individual circumstances are mere manifestation of first cause, first effect. Personal design, structure, ambition, attraction from the innermost core, the optimal rooting of material, spiritual success. Fashion your thoughts towards your ambitions. Those ambitions that are selfish, self-satisfying, self-seeking only goes so far. Those which are universal, which are cosmic, fulfills the desires in the hearts of so many individuals that are in need of innovation in thousands of products and services across this material economic existence. The spiritual world is pregnant with ideas waiting to be birthed into reality. All of us are portal points. No one has the right above us, save we give it to them. Do not give to them your grandeur. Do not give to them the presence of Yah within you. Yah is the substance that has made all things. And from that substance, they have designed this material ambition into material economic existence, economic lifestyle, economic mindset, economic worldview. Be original. Be independent. Be open so the cosmic can show you through inspired thought what is truly necessary. The gift of futurism, the futuristic mind, the material prophet will see what products, what services will be of value, will be of worth in the present or the coming age, in the close and immediate future, the midterm and immediate future, and the distant and immediate future. Those individuals are here amongst us. Heed the beckoning, the ushering of Yeshua, and allow that creative spirit to be fulfilled in this material world. Riches and poverty are all in spirit. When you own your reality, claim your dominion, you become responsible for your actions. Responsive, holy, in sync with your goals, becoming your way of life, becoming your experience, becoming all that is within existence. The efforts in all merits are measured in the quality of your thoughts and how much you can imbue your thoughts in the cosmic and be fed from the cosmic law and can be tutored from the eternal wellsprings. Money in the spiritual context is substance made manifest. Its portal, its creation is holy in the human mind. Imbue it with the spirit of experience, of true knowing where value is needed. Add that value and watch that value add to you, your life, your family, a prosperous existence based on true wholesome efforts. When your mind drifts so intensely away from your true focus, the external things distract. The confusion that puts such bad etheric fields on contact with the money is what is holding so much people steadfast in this experience to suffering, to lack. The lack consciousness is electromagnetic and it's transmuting through individuals by the money contact. Be free in your thought processes wherever you are. So if you're in what is called the poorest regions of terra firma of planet Earth in this economic world, I'm saying to you, still approach the money with absolute peace and confidence. And even if it has taken you months to gather the value of which you think shows a certain worth, don't be too connected or attached to it. Money buys what money buys. Money is as money is. You can only satisfy what money satisfies. And in between all such strong philosophical rhetoric, there are families, there are children, there are loved ones. So remember that your family needs wholesome thoughts, actualizing as ways of life, that a destiny can be born, that your sons and your daughter can learn how to earn or create the avenues rather, not earn. Let me take the earn because I'm not thinking about getting. Forgive me, Father, for that slipping. The enemy is working. That your sons and your daughter can create avenues of material fulfillment based upon how you and I and our experience have taught them. So let us learn the true ways of the Spirit. Let us learn the true way of the Spirit, becoming the material instruments and manifestations. Be at peace with money, wherever you are, whatever its store of value. Come to it by honest means, because all that filthy, loathsome energy that leads to criminality and violence, it is left on the money. That's why it's called blood money. When you are clean, the blood won't afflict you or affect your existence. Clean spirit, clean soul, clean mind, clean existence, clean ways of life. Doesn't mean there's no faults. Doesn't mean that you won't get wiped out once or twice along this material path. But I guarantee you, along this material path, there'll be rise and falls. But the true essence is that you are not anchored in the money, nor the money sciences. You are anchored in the spiritual, the true nature. And it expresses itself dynamically and has to be healthy, to be hygienic, to be clean, so as to be materially viable and fulfilled. It's just a function of life. The trees produce to show the value, the virtues, and the realities of life. That in them is life. is production. Grasp production from nature. Grasp the essence of abundance from nature. We're going to go a little deeper and continue on the path as we examine the material, the spiritual money matters right here. Reasonings at the Tree of Life. Remember that money is good servant, bad master. Remember that money is filled with the substance of your thinking. And that is a very, very essential point. The substance of your thinking. The energy you put into that thought is imbued into the money. Now, in a ever-increasing cashless age, people will say, well, I'm not touching my money. No, you're not. But you're touching the swipe cards, debit and credit, that are representations of the money. One will say, but guess what? It's different from going through 1,000 hands. All I do is pass it to the person at the cash register, and they swipe it, or I swipe it myself. And all that means is that it won't take the energy. The energy is more than just through the physical contact, because the substance of your thought is already imbued in the money systems and the functions of the money systems. So yes, each time you swipe the card, vibrationally, etherically, that energy field is still transmuted, whether through lust, jealousy, or envy, coming from the people in the environment, seeing what you're buying, the people who are actually conducting the sales, the people who are actually packing that stuff, seeing all those expensive material things going into your car, into your household, into your office, into your business complex, into your apartment complex. It starts a complex in a lot of these people. And each time you go through the cashless contact, there's a slight low electromagnetic field that is still resonating. The same aura. Sometimes even more. Because maybe with money, you have this intense fear. You clutch to your wallet. You clutch to your money purse. So maybe when you have the credit cards and your debit cards and all these cards, this plastic in your wallet, you feel more secure. Because you're like, well, I don't have that thing that really attracts people. How are they attracted? By your behavior. How would they even know? By your behavior. So how would you even secure that wealth, that well-being, that energy through your behavior? Again, all comes down to your mental patterns, substance of your thoughts manifesting as your material endeavors and experiences. So even the cashless society, even this vast, swipe card industry, making us feel secure, the essence of what materialism drives in its negative context through our lusts and desires into our mental is evident everywhere. The way people drive on the street, the way they look at your car, the way they talk to you when they realize what part of town you're from. And when they recognize that you're from an opulent part of town, look how the conversation changes. So you can see the money power is real. And when people do it on the surface like that, they see the effects. So imagine if you go into the spirit of it all and truly see how it is that the substance of your thought affects the essence of the money, how you create it in your life, how you create the avenues and streams by which it flows through your life. Because one thing you should learn from the cosmic functionality is that nothing is a dead end. The first thing Yah told me about money was never to hoard it. Never. Right? Because it is currency. It is a flow. It is an electric substance. It flows. So things that burdens it and pulls it down is of no benefit to the individual who's sending out such frequencies. So when you have great ideas and thinking that money is the way to manifest them or to get them out there, you are missing the substance. I'm telling you straight. I'm not going to hold back. When I used to give financial advice to my early programs of organic arts, I used to teach executives or professionals, young professionals, or even experienced professionals as a life coach how to get the best out of themselves for material well-being. And I had quite a few clients who wanted to establish this, current production setting of offering this information the way I'm offering it. And trust me, these individuals, this offering of information would be in a commercial scheme, believe me, because they would not just design this and not make it their own money. So there's several times they said to me, Jerome, let us structure organic arts, let us make it into a complete business, let us get those videos up of filming the sessions and get people to understand that, you know, you're really good at this. And this is before I was awakened. Since I was awakened, I never had much interest to talk about money, except to talk about alternatives and alternative uses of the material perception. And that's what I attempted to do in one of my first videos. But the Lord came to me and said, Jerome, there are a lot of people out there who think money is this great thing above them, and you need to talk to them to let them understand that's not the case. Your mind controls it, your thoughts. And when you get your heart into it, it works a whole lot better, a whole lot faster, with a whole lot more astringent and strident, you know, drive to it. Start inside your mental patterns and design the ways in which you will actualize your material blessings and your material gifts. Don't be like, as the Bible said, those individuals that the masters gave the talent of gold and take it and bury it and hide it and then not try to manifest the value of it in perpetuity, the essence of continuity, the essence of abundance. The abundance mindset is essential in material well-being. The trees produce, the natural life produce at an exponential rate and level. Humans are no different. Abundance is our natural birthright. It is our natural outlook. It is our natural ways of being. It is actually nature manifesting through us. So when we get a bit confused at times and say to ourselves, well, I don't think I have the gift. I don't think I have the blessings. I don't think I have the means by which I can manifest this highest level of success. You're absolutely missing it. Abundance is your nature. Abundance of goodness freely given. Remember that you can't rob heaven. You don't have to attempt to rob heaven. Truth is, brothers and sisters, the abundant state of mind is one of the most essential thought substance you can put into your material endeavors. It truly is. And as such, I implore you to employ in your thinking the truest nature of knowing that abundance is your birthright and is your actual nature. Now, when you know this, lack will not take precedence and begin to run amok in your consciousness and then begin to tell you this is our reality, is and our reality ought to be, when you know that abundance is your nature. You know that abundance of goodness is freely given. And you know you can't rob earth or heaven. For to every action is a reaction. So when things are done in the substance of wholesomeness, then wholesomeness will return to you. The same law applies to everything. What you create is what you live. How you are is what you are. It is how everything is. So if you don't approach it with the substance of truth, what you will do is make yourself a slave to the material system that pre-exists, that are fulfilling the ambitions of others, maintained by others who have given up their natural rights to add to this system, to take from us our value and add to their own. So material ambitions has nothing to do with a selfish motive in the spiritual sense. Spiritual money matters have to do with understanding that there's a law to be successful through the spiritual realms where material is concerned, just like it is in everything else, in the transmutation of lower energy to higher energy, negative behaviors to positive behaviors, bad habits to good habits. It's a habit-forming state of existence, and you grow in that habit. So when you have weak habits of planning, weak habits of uses and application of your material ambitions and your material power, then results reflect such and such and such the likes. When you spend your money on products and services that are not in alignment with your highest ideal, and what is most beneficial in your spirit, but you've harmed yourself. You've harmed your outlook. And you've taken from your creative substance and has not put anything back. When you spend, when you invest, when you save your money in these instruments designed by others to make themselves wealthy, you've given a lot of your talents and your gifts of well-being, of spiritual material prosperity away. Invest in your ideas. Nothing comes overnight. If you plant a seed this very moment, it'll take a while in the natural law before it produces true substance, not in the material law of man that has created fertilizers and such things to create this kind of a sped up production line that is inorganic and not natural. That is the cutthroat mentality of the kind of boot camp and West Point theology and ideology of war in material financing and how to become successful. The Wall Street genius of the day. Those design mechanisms are out of the spiritual realms. And to put your faith and your trust in them is to just as much sign your creativity over to the devil, because it won't benefit you in the end result. And when that substance begins to come from your soul, even when you do make a whole ton load of cash, as they love to say, the spirit to truly full joy, as always you say, enjoy that material bliss, will not happen. Too much worry, too much anxiety. And you're not touching those credit cards as much as anyone else. You don't need to. You're up there in elite class. But your mind is warped. And all that money is doing is creating some kind of existentialism. I know the word. It's creating some kind of existentialism, where you're searching through ideologies and, deep perception to alternate reality and alternate life, and just mess yourselves up a lot of times. But the truth is, money is fulfilling when it is spiritual money, because it is not detached from the substance of what is the etheric and cosmic nature of existence. Yah isn't out of the equation, brethren and sisters. That's all it's about. So when you fix the mental, emotional, and spiritual patterns right, then money likewise will take on the form and the shape you design for it. It won't be disobedient, malevolent, and be an evil master in your life. When it becomes this, you have given over unto the construction of those who use fear through material ambitions and projections to control your mental, to give them your substance. And hence, they have more energy with which to create a lasting, successful existence and living experience. Though, like I say, many times it is materially successful, but they don't really succeed in the spiritual sense of it, because they're still tormented. Anxiety fills their beings. Give thanks for those who are turning from subjection to that material mammon and is coming to a kind of a Christ-like awakening. Some is seeing themselves as the Christ. What evolution of thought. Again, this existentialism. But Christ wasn't about a dollar bill or a buck. But yea, he wasn't stupid either. He said, give unto Caesar what is Caesar, and unto Yah the things that are Yah's. Yeah. So the things that are of God are the things that are of virtue and love and forgiveness and truth and mercy, which cannot be quantified by a bank account. But the things of the material world balances out our ethics, adds to our sense of well-being, gives substance to the quality of our mental and emotional patterns. So Yah knows that there is true value When the spirit is aligned to the material ambitions, the thought waves, the thought frequency, the thought forms, actualizing in material forms. And you will love that car because of the spirit of you, the spirit of love, the spirit of true fulfillment, the spirit of YAH and completion. You love that home. Yeah, you love your private jet and your private yacht. Yeah, you love your farm that you bought after thinking it's the best avenue by which I can go back to nature, by which I can return to the calmer self. Because all of those weird, external thoughts have come to this. And all of those thoughts that go and make you feel cuckoo after eating the finest caviar, drinking the best wines and traveling all the finest lands in the world and the most remote places. You've come to understand that being in line, in harmony with the cosmic is what it's about. And if your travels is to add value, not take value, not to dig up the substance of other people's lives, then you will benefit truly from what YAH has in store in the material sense, in the material well-being. And these well springs will overflow with goodness towards your life, and you will truly grasp the fulfillment of which you desire. Because YAH is faithful and true, and He's not about to just let you just, float off without fulfillment. So those who are coming back from those material escapades that led them to rob value, now add value. I love true philanthropy and people who are truly understanding that it is up to us to reduce our toxic footprints on the planet. And businesses of the future should be more concerned with saving us from our own negative patterns than about continuing these negative patterns. So the ambitions towards material success in the spiritual sense is a lot about reparation for a lot of the damages that have been done from our lustful life and our lustful experience, our lustful existence. So material substance and material well-being, it has to be refashioned for the substance of the spiritual to be worthy and to make sense to you, and for your family and your children to feel fulfilled by the lives you're living, knowing that the money fulfills a function. It is not the identifying mark of what makes you great, what makes you successful, what makes you worthwhile. It is that you have applied the divine law in true nature, in understanding for true value, doing unto others as you have them do unto you. That is the true substance of success. One of my first principles I learned after being taught not to hoard money. The Lord told me, when you're selling, back then I was selling CDs for my poetry. The Lord told me, give first before you sell. And I always give away first before I start the commercial part of my endeavors. That is why the information is freely given, freely shared, the substance thereof. The uses of it is up to you. And for those who know me for the professional side of therapy, well, that's a spiritual business, and that's the value from the value stream of Yahuwah coming through me to those who are encountering this experience, the substance thereof. And that's how my material is manifest. Give thanks to Yahuwah, Yahushua, Divine Elohim. This has been Jerome Sage about the right to ritual life, just reasoning and spiritual money matters, and asking you, imploring you to fix the mental patterns around money so you're not angry, uptight, fearful, sad, confused, or even depressed when the arguments come up, and your ambitions are not thwarted by the value systems that teach you that where you are in your physical environment determines where you're going to end up. Thoughts of truth will free you from such subjugation. Apply your knowledge of self through the material consciousness. That is your true way to succeed in this life, to fulfill the true wealth, the abundance of your nature. Make it be in sync with the absolute substance of life. And you will truly, truly have value and be valuable in this true and living existence. Blessings once again. This has been Reasonings Right Check with Your Life. Yeah, at the Sacred River, at my little stone cave, giving thanks to Yahuwah in this blissful, blessed, successful life I'm embarking by His grace. Remember that you're a gift unto yourself and to all who come in contact with you. in contact with your products and your services. Continue to be the spiritual and material gift that you are. Blessings, the source of our complete well-being, love and honor. Until next we meet, continue on your path of success.